I would really like to ask for some help from some of you, or just some understanding, or what I'm about to talk about may sound totally strange to you and off the charts and not something that you can actually resonate with. Or this might sound like you're going through exactly the same thing and you haven't understood it. Or you may be very psychically in tune yourself or a healer, and you're going to be able to help me in some way with what I'm going through, because I'm just getting more and more confused by this picking up of energy. So, as most of you know, throughout my entire life, I've been able to feel the physical pain of somebody else. So, when my grandmother was having a heart attack, I physically felt her pain. And when my grandfather died, I was physically started bleeding from my body, and he died of prostate cancer. And it's happened my entire life. Say if my dad has an epileptic fit, I will get the physical dizziness in my own mind. So it's not something I've been able to protect myself from either. So I can ground myself. I can stand on the beach with bare feet to ground myself. I can stand in the earth. I can do all the things that people recommend to ground yourself. I can physically imagine the energy coming up around my body and expelling it so I don't hold it. I can send energy back from where it came. I have done everything, but I still can't seem to manage to stop it from coming in. So maybe there is something in my soul reasoning for being here to heal things in other people, and I'm the filter. My body, or am I energetically filtering their energy to send it back as a clean energy? But as it's coming through, because I'm so super sensitive to energy, am I feeling it now in the physical body? What I wanted to talk about was this COVID thing that's happening, because I'm having all the symptoms of COVID, and yet it started about a year and a half ago, but every time I have a test, I'm negative, and I have blood tests and I have swabs, but I'm negative, but I'm feeling all the symptoms. And I was actually listening to a doctor this morning who was saying he doesn't believe it's just viral. He's saying it doesn't act like viral infections normally act. So he thinks it might be more maybe what did he call it? Not pathogens, like something else that's it's come into the blood to cause a blood disorder. So what happened a year and a half ago, I got a sinus infection. It started with a sinus infection, and I went to the doctor and they just prescribed antibiotics. And I am an asthmatic, and I have developed asthma in my 20s. So I'm in my 50s now, so I've had it for 30 years. I've had asthma, which has been really good. My asthma has always been under control, but last year it started to flare up. So my sinuses were like really, really blocked, and my asthma was playing up. So I went to the doctor, got antibiotics for the sinus, and then took the course of antibiotics. And then about 2 months later, it did it again. And the second time, it was so blocked back to my ears that I actually have now lost my sense of taste and my sense of smell. I don't have it at all. And since that happened a year and a half ago, it's never come back. So I can eat something sweet or I can eat something savory and it doesn't taste any different. It's gone. I can't smell anything at all. So I was putting it down to the sinus infections that I kept getting. So then they put me on a course of steroids because the sinus thing was upsetting the breathing. And then it turned into a chest infection. So I'd been through like 3 lots of antibiotics. This is last year, before Christmas last year, before COVID has even come about. So I'm getting all that symptoms and that then, and they're just giving me antibiotics. Then at the beginning of this year, I started to feel really lightheaded, like not like I felt like I was going to pass out, but I never ever did. And I've had that feeling before when I've been sitting with somebody who has a disease, if they've got cancer or if they've got something wrong in their body. When I'm sitting with certain people, I feel this strange sensation come over me. Let me try and explain it. It's like heat comes up inside my body. My brain feels really, really disorientated. That's the word. It feels disorientated, and I can feel energy like going through me and out. It's like it comes like this and it goes through and it goes out. And for a long time, I think I was trying to fight it because I thought, what is this strange feeling? And now that I just let it just go through me, just let it go through me, it's a lot easier. And I thought, well, that's what I'm doing when I'm with somebody. I'm filtering their energy to help the healing process. But I wasn't around anybody. In January of this year, if I was just sitting at home on my own, I would get this feeling. So I decided to go to the doctor and have a total blood tests done. So she tested me for diabetes, thyroid, heart, liver, everything that you can do. And in the past, I've had a lot of trouble with blood disorders, which they've never, ever been able to diagnose properly. They've just either said, oh, you're anemic, and they give me a bit of iron, or it just seems to right itself. So it sort of comes in, it goes all haywire. My blood goes haywire for a while, and then it just rights itself. And so there's never been a cure. And this has happened a lot over the years since I was actually 9 years old. That's been happening. So January comes back, all the results come back, everything's fine. I'm not anemic. All my bloods were good, but I'm still getting these constant sinus infections. My asthma's getting worse. My breathing's getting worse. Then I went to a ear, nose and throat specialist because of the sinuses, and he did a CT scan on my sinuses, and everything was fine. I don't have like nodules all blocked up in my sinuses or anything. So, and I asked him why my body is producing so much mucus, and he just said, oh, hereditary, genetics or hereditary. He didn't really give me a good enough answer. So he gave me antibiotics again and steroids again, and off you go. So that was in March. Then COVID hits. And from March till now, I have had, as my family will testify, a constant cough, breathing problems, no taste, no smell, nothing. And I did start to wonder, and I know this sounds really, really strange, but I can't sort of come up with any other theory. Am I energetically connecting to all the people that have got COVID, and am I somehow trying to filter it? Because I can't figure, I've just been, recently I had a really, really bad asthma attack a couple of days ago, and my Ventolin would not help it. So I drove myself to the hospital. By the time I'd got to the hospital, and they told me I had to put a mask on, by the time I was sat there for about 20 minutes in the waiting room, and I know when I'm sitting in a waiting room, I can't help myself I start sending healing out to all the people that are in that waiting room, and then I feel better. So after 20 minutes, my breathing slowed right down. And I went and I had like, blood test, my blood pressure was fine. Temperature was fine. I actually had 100% oxygen. And so I explained all this again to the doctor. I explained the history of the last year and a half and how I've had all these symptoms. So they did a COVID swab test, which came back 90 minutes later, which was a negative. And it should be a negative because I work from home. There's only two people that come into this house. There's my two sons, and they're never sick. They've never got colds. They're never ever sick. So, and I don't go anywhere. I go to the supermarket back. That's it. And I don't even talk to anyone in the supermarket. So I just get my stuff, come back again. I don't socialise. I don't go out to pubs. I don't go on holidays. I'm just sit at home. So I'm very, very isolated in my world. So I explained all this to the doctor because I can't explain to doctors about feeling energy of other people because they think I'm a crackpot and they go, no, like that doesn't happen. I can't get them to understand, but it is real. I mean, they might say to me, you're disillusional or you're, it's like phantom pregnancies, when someone else can, the mother can be pregnant, but the husband feels the symptoms, that kind of connection in energy. And like when your child is hurt, you feel that pain, or if a really close relative of yours has been in an accident, like you either feel something or you instinctively know something's not right. So I want to know, because I've just had another blood test done, and now they're telling me that my blood platelets are up a bit, this is what happened when I was 9 years old. I had not enough white blood cells in my blood when I was a child. It's the opposite of leukemia, so it's the opposite one, and it righted itself. And then when I was 23 years old and pregnant with one of my kids, it did it again. My white blood cell count dropped, and now it's apparently doing it again. But it just, every time I see all these symptoms of COVID, I'm feeling them all on a physical level. But when I go and get tests done, then there's nothing showing up. So I'm asking you, does anyone else out there go through this energetically feeling what's going on with either people close to you or the world, like on a grand scale, where you feel like your body is filtering the energy, or are you a psychic yourself or a very in tune person that while you're looking at me, you can pick something up that the doctors are missing or I'm missing? Or do you think this is an energetic thing, or is it just a recurring issue with my blood cells? Do you believe in energetic healing, or do you think this is just, it can't happen? Maybe, or you might have a belief that because I spend all day every day just dealing with doing psychic work, I've gone so deep that I've lost touch with reality, because I know that can happen. So I just would love to hear what you think. I have some really close friends that I talk to about this, because it's just this ongoing, I just would like to one day just go, I don't have to feel everybody else's pain, because it's just getting really, really tiring. And as much as I have tried, I had a really, really good lady that used to live in Sydney that worked with energy. She's tried to sort of put the barrier there for me and help me to do, so I don't have to feel it. But as much as I've tried everything, I can't seem to stop my physical body taking on the energy of what's going on around me. and I'd like to be able to have a little bit of a relief. Or maybe you might be able to tell me that's just my role. That's what my role here is on earth as a light worker. Am I here to just filter the energy for everybody else? And it's part of what I'm doing here. So I am going back to the doctor again next Friday. And just going to go hold another recount to see if my white blood cells are still really low. But see, I am somebody that will lay in bed at night time, and I do healing on myself, and I know how to focus on healthy cells, and I eat healthy, and I don't smoke, and I don't drink, and I should exercise a little bit more than I do. But apart from that, I'm a very healthy person. It's just this, I have to seem to carry all this energy, and then when I go and get tests done, they all come back positive, negative. They're like, you're fine, there's nothing wrong with it, we can't find anything. So I don't know, are you going through the same thing? Do you understand what I'm talking about? Do you not understand what I'm talking about? And do you have any advice that you've gone through, anything that's helped you? Or do you know of anybody that is going through the same sort of thing, and you could refer them? Because I just want to have a little talk to someone about this, because it's just been going on for way too long. So, yeah, thanks so much for listening. Thanks. I look forward to your comments and seeing how people can give me some advice on this one.